What is going on, everybody? Gabriel Jones here, giving you a drop a sign any chance I get. And I just got done watching the second semifinal for Eurovision 2025. I always love referring to this as the unpredictable semifinal because semifinal 1, they always have the obvious qualifiers, like you know who's going to advance. But with semifinal 2, it's anybody's game. You have no clue who's going to get voted in and who's going to get voted out. And this year just proved my point even further because I was just on the edge of my seats not knowing whose country would be called. And I have some thoughts on who qualified and who didn't, so we're going to get into that right away. If you look to the side of my face, you'll see my full ranking for this semifinal. Who I think should have stayed out, and who I think deserved to be in. So, I think I've done enough rambling. Why don't we get into the list of countries and see what we had tonight. Our first country making it into the finals is Lithuania. They had a band called Catharsis, and their song was called Tavo Akis. This song absolutely deserved to make it. It was one of my top 10 favorite entries this year, and I am super thrilled that they pretty much kept the performance the same from Eurovision.lt. Like, you know, more walking across the stage, of course, more wind in the face. But overall, everything was similar. The lead vocalist, Lucas, really sold the energy, the mood of a guy who is just solemn because nobody can feel his pain. And I love the visuals in the background, too, like of the house being swept up by a tornado. At least all the floorboards are just flying through the air. Yeah, it was just phenomenal. And yeah, it's good to see Lithuania staying in the finals yet again. We also had Armenia reach the grand final. They had the song Survivor by Park, and holy mother of God, I was astonished by what Park brought to the big stage. Like, when he performed at Depi Evertessel, I thought it was fine. You know, I didn't think his vocal performance was great, but some of the visuals were really good. Like, he made up for his lacking vocal performance with a nice staging. You know, like with the red blood veins, and of course the Mars-like structure he sat on. You know, that really brought us into an environment. But yeah, I didn't think the song was that strong. I wasn't a huge fan of the writing or the production. However, once we got to the Basel stage, he threw me for a surprise. Because, like, he really had the look of a person just surviving, like, all sorts of turmoil, all sorts of trudgery. Like, he had the ash that was smeared on his shoulders, and he was shirtless, and he was running across a treadmill the whole time. And he really, like, was able to bring the energy. Plus, the lighting was great. Like, the way he just flashed it onto himself, and of course the red during the bridge was cool. And he also showed off his Armenian pride by rewriting the bridge in his native language. So, a lot of great stuff to find with Park. Like, I was just amazed by how much he improved. Like, he convinced me that he deserved to be in the finals, and thank God he got voted in. Like, if I were giving out my own personal trophy, I would give him the most improved award. Like, he had a serious glow up. But now, we're talking about a country I am very happy made it. Denmark, with Sissel's Hallucination. We did it! Ah, yes, we did it! I'm so happy for Sissel. Oh my God, yes! Like, I was so confident she would bring the house down, and boy, did she. Oh my God, the blue attire was just gorgeous, and the dancers just walking around her and, like, you know, putting their heads on her shoulders, that was really neat. And the blue curtain that fell down on her was great. And of course, she freaking killed it with the vocal delivery. Like, I swear to Christ, like, that woman could be in a coma and she could belt some decent notes. Like, she has such a beautiful voice. Oh my God. And of course, like, she made it look all rainbowy and all flashy. Like, her team knew how to bring the visuals. Oh my gosh. And one neat trick I really adored was during the bridge when she was just moving around on stage. She was on her knees and her body was just crooning, and the aperture sort of changed, you know, like it looked a lot blurrier, and that really sold the feeling of someone going into a hallucination, you know? Like, I believe that was an intentional creative decision. So whoever thought of that, props to you. Wow. Oh my goodness. I was astonished by Sissel. Oh my god. Honestly, like, I think I might have to make her my top favorite of this year. Like, I didn't know I would do that with Denmark, but here we are. You know, especially after a certain performer was sadly eliminated. But we'll get to him. For now, though, Sissel, you are a queen. You should feel proud for qualifying. Our next artist is a big favorite for this year's contest. That is JJ. He was competing for Austria with his pop opera song, Wasted Love. I believe it's called Popra, but I digress. I was very curious to see what the staging would be like for this. I knew he was gonna do a lot with the boat sets, but I just didn't know what it would look like. And this was kind of interesting. He made the performance black and white. He was just standing on the boat the whole time. And he also clutched a paper boat in his hand, you know, almost like he's Georgie in Stephen King's It. This one did have like a lot of neat visuals too, like a lot of interesting graphics, you know, because like he's just riding the waves and he's in the middle of the ocean and it's nighttime and all the water is getting violent. And that's very much reminiscent of the music video that he released. And yeah, I really digged his vocal performance, of course. I mean, bro is an A+ singer. I had no doubt he would kill it there. But I was super curious how they would construct the final 30 seconds because, you know, of course they couldn't make him levitate in the air like in the video. But I think they were able to make it work somehow. Because, like, they did, like, a bunch of shaky cam while he was just lying down on the boats, and it seemed like he was just crashing along the water. So, yeah, I think they have something to work with. Is it enough to win the contest? Well, we'll just have to see on Saturday, which is tomorrow, as the time I'm releasing this video. Overall, though, I really liked JJ's performance. Like, he very much could win this contest. Next up is La Poupée Monte le Sang. That is by Laura Thorne, and she is representing Luxembourg. This one I had a really funny relationship with because, you know, she didn't change too much from the LSC contest, but I wasn't vibing with it that much, if you would say. I guess I just wasn't connecting with the message that much, you know, because, I don't know, like, there just wasn't a spark, you know? But I will say this. Laura deserved to qualify tonight because the way she presented her song tonight was phenomenal. Like, I especially, like, what really hooked me in was when she had the CG dollhouse and then it zoomed in on the keyhole and there she is just lying on the floor and, you know, playing with all the graphics. You know, she's putting her feet on the table or pretending to, and then she's picked up by her dancers and they start moving around like dolls. Yeah, like, for some reason, it just hit for me tonight. I don't know why. I don't know why it took this long for me to really connect with her tune, but it now has. And I will say this. I'll take this song over Fighter. Like, Laura Thorne, I think, has a much better vision for her Eurovision performance than Tally did. Like, I can say that confidently. So, yeah, Laura Thorne, I'm sorry I doubted you. I hope there's no hard feelings. And good luck on Saturday. Now we got a big contender on our hands. Erika Vikman, the competitor for Finland, and her song Ishkamen. Yeah, this one, this was a no-brainer. Like, obviously she was gonna make it in. The song had the hype, it had the vocal performance, it had the build-up, it had the execution. She barely changed anything from her UMK performance. And yeah, like, it definitely had the power, you know. And of course, she brought in her giant golden microphone, which shot the sparks out. I don't really have much to say about this one other than, yeah, no duh, I made it. So let's see what Erika can do when the grand final hits. And now we have another country that I am very ecstatic was announced for the finals. Latvia, with Berman Laney by Tautamitis. Woo! Yes, they freaking did it. The ladies of Tautamitis are in the grand final. Yeah, like, like, they pretty much kept this performance the same also. Except they didn't do that much intricate choreography like they did in their home country. But it was still powerful. Like, they still brought a lot to the table. Like, I still love the blue lights. I still love the strings that hung from the ceiling. It's probably not the ceiling, but I digress. The point is, they still executed it beautifully. Like, they harmonized effortlessly together, and they looked gorgeous, of course. Like, I really loved the way they presented themselves. Their wardrobe choice was pretty interesting. And yeah, they also had some really neat graphics, like the bubble that rises, like, during the final 30 seconds. I don't know what that symbolizes, but I'd love for someone to explain that to me. Yeah, like, it was going to be interesting to see Latvia compete this year because, you know, Dons brought them back into the finals for the first time in many years. And there was a lot of question about whether Hala was just a fluke. Well, Talta Midas answered that question tonight. Congrats, ladies. You deserved it. It's very interesting to see certain countries make it back into the grand final after staying out of it for several years. And adding to that list is Malta. They made it again thanks to Mirjana Conte and her gorgeous song, Serving. This one was just a lot of fun to watch on stage. It was very scandalous, especially with the graphics. And I really loved her cheetah outfit, which she had under her big yellow-black dress. Of course, she had to bring out the exercise balls because that's become a staple of her song. And once again, I have to comment on how funny it is that I was rooting for Mirjana Conte last year in the MESC show when she had Venom. But this was the year where she actually got submitted to the big show and brought her country back into the finals. Wow. Oh my gosh. I just had to wait 1 year and I would have been accurate. The point is, Mirjana Conte was fabulous. She was queening all over that stage. And yeah, people are going to have a lot of fun with her song this weekend. And finally, we have Greece. They were the last country to be announced. They are represented by Claudia and her gorgeous anthem, Este Romana. This one was super interesting to think about because the staging was kind of crappy. Don't get me wrong, she is an outstanding singer, like probably one of the strongest vocalists we have this year. However, that staging needed work. She promised a lot for the Basel show, and she lived up to the promise, thankfully. This one was really neat because she had a gorgeous outfit on. It was very sparkly, and she kind of changed into an all-white outfit during the final 5 seconds, which was very unique. She also had some neat visuals, like the fiery LED graphics that were right behind her and across the aisle. And then there was that dancer who was kind of mimicking her movements. And of course, she had all the virtual birds flying around her. That was really interesting. And yeah, like, much like Pard, she kind of had a glow up too. Like, and I don't think that she had much to work with at first when it came to the staging when she was in that Ethnikos Telikos show. I think I'm saying it wrong. I might have to correct myself. The point is, she really stepped it up. So yeah, I'm curious to see where Claudia is going to place in the final score. So yeah, a lot of excellent qualifiers for tonight's show. I'm very thrilled with the results. But unfortunately, we need to talk about the non-qualifiers and how I feel about them being left out. So let's start with Australia. They were represented by Gojo, and he had the song Milkshake Man. This song was really fun. It was a joy to watch on stage. I like how he experimented with the big blender, you know, where he like changed in and out of clothes, and along with his actress on stage. You know, it was a fun time. However, I just don't think his vocal performance was there, and as much as he brought the energy and the pelvic movements, yeah, I just don't think I was feeling the spirit, you know. And to be honest, I just really wasn't feeling the song that much from the get-go. And yeah, I guess I'm just not too torn up about it. I feel guilty about saying that because Gojo, he has a wonderful spirit to him. He's very funny, and, you know, listening to all of his previous songs, you know, it's really nice to see him, like, find his own persona and really understand himself better. That being said, I just wasn't feeling Milkshake Man, so yeah, not a big loss for me. What is a big loss for me, though? Oh, Czechia. I'm so sorry. Donis's Kiss Kiss Goodbye didn't make it, and that's disappointing, honestly. Like, I had so much hope for this song, and I really wanted it to make up for Aiko's Pedestal not making it, but man, they were kind of robbed again. I mean, in fairness, you know, I feel like Adonis wasn't able to stay on tempo at certain moments. You know, it kind of felt like he was falling behind a little bit with the music. Unfortunately, though, I really wanted Czechia to make it. I really liked Kiss Kiss Goodbye. But I guess viewers just weren't feeling it that much. That one kind of hurts. Just as much as Red Sebastian. So, I'm sorry, Adonis. Man, I'll be sure to stream some of your songs, okay? Next up is a song that I am not torn up about whatsoever. Freedom by Miriam Shengelia, which was competing for Georgia. Yeah, this one just kind of had bad vibes all around it. Like, I didn't like what it was representing, and I just really could not get into it. I mean, Miriam's a good singer, I'll give her that, but yeah, I was not enjoying Freedom at all. And it also kind of felt like they just recycled the same visuals from Firefighter last year. Like, they were using the same red circle that Nutso was relying on. So, a little bit of rehashing there, guys. Like, come on. Yeah. This one, yeah, it's a no for me. Next up on the non-qualifiers list is Ireland. Their song was Like a Party by Emmy. Like I said, this song was really cute, and I really love the dancing that she did on stage, and she seems like such a sweetheart. That Emmy, like, oh my gosh, I would love to have a conversation with her. But yeah, I guess, you know, much like with Gojo, I just wasn't feeling like the vibe of it, you know, like I just wasn't feeling as excited for it. And, you know, like I said, I feel ashamed for saying that because I would love to meet Emmy. Like, she seems like such a fun person. But yeah, I feel like, you know, there were some things that weren't going for it. Like, I feel like the Fortnite visuals were just kind of silly. And, yeah, I guess, you know, some viewers just didn't really, like, connect with it, you know, since she was kind of, like, making a song about a dead dog and trying to turn it into an EDM jam. You know, I see the specialty in of the song, you know, personally. But I guess some viewers just weren't. So, sorry, Emmy, but you're still dear to my heart. Next up is Montenegro's Dobra Došli, which was by Nina Zizic. Yeah, I would have really liked to see Montenegro make it. You know, since they're returning after a few years of absence. However, yeah, I don't think this one was really connecting with me that much, especially with the wardrobe choice. I mean, I'm sure it means a lot to her, you know, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, I feel like that was too distracting for a song like this. Like, I like the way that it's kind of like, yeah, like, you probably know what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, and her vocals were pretty strong. I mean, I'll give her that. Yeah, and she had like a booming delivery. However, yeah, I feel like due to like some distracting wardrobe choices and some visuals that didn't exactly quite fit, yeah, unfortunately Dobra Došli couldn't make it. And then last but not least is Prince, who was representing Serbia with Mila. Yeah, this one was also an obvious non-qualifier. I'm not broken over this one missing out on the finals, because I feel like a lot of the visuals were a little oversaturated for this song. The fire shooting out was pretty cool towards the end. I kind of dug that. But yeah, I feel like Prince just didn't have like a good idea for how he wanted to present this song, or at least this team. Especially when they like dragged him across the stage. Like, I mean, that was certainly a decision. Unfortunately, yeah, their luck just wasn't there this time, and as I predicted, their qualifying streak ended with the Basel show. So, that is me talking about the non-qualifiers. Some I'm heartbroken about, some I'm not. But I think we'll wrap up this video like we did with the last one by speaking on the automatic qualifiers. In this case, it's France, Germany, and United Kingdom. First off is France. They have the artist Luan, and she's singing Maman. I really liked this performance. I was expecting something more grandiose, but I think they're keeping it more simple this time. And honestly, I think I appreciate that because, you know, they really allow the emotion to sit with you and soak into your body. I really love the tricks that they did with the sand, especially when she like brushed the stage so that she can see a reflection of herself. And then when they made the sand twirl around her, that was really unique. She was beautiful, of course. I love the black attire that she's wearing and the way that she just celebrates her motherhood. It's gonna look great during the grand final. Like, I swear. Luan visited the beach one day and she told her delegation team, I got an idea for y'all. Then we have Germany. Their artist is Armenia, and their song is called Baller. This one had a lot of fun to it. I really loved Abor playing his cello on stage, his light up cello, that is. And then Tina was really having fun with the dancers as they were just shining their lights everywhere, you know, playing with them on the big stereo box. I will say her vocal performance wasn't that great. And you know, I've seen her sing very well in TikTok videos. I know she can do it. Maybe she's a little bit nervous, but I guess we'll have to see what happens when Saturday hits. But yeah, I think this one could offer a lot of fun to viewers. I've been seeing all their TikTok videos where they dance with the Duolingo mascot wearing a bikini, which is all sorts of silliness. So let's see what Argentina can pull off. Will it earn a better score than Always on the Run? I have my doubts about that, but yeah, they'll probably have like a decent number of points. And then finally, we have What the Hell Just Happened by Remember Monday, the country pop trio competing for United Kingdom. These ladies were fabulous on stage. Like, I loved their attire. I think I saw a comment comparing them to Aurora, Cinderella, and Belle, the Disney princesses, which is way too accurate if I gotta be honest. Their harmonizing was astonishing. They do it effortlessly, much like Tatamitis. And I really love the props that they play with. I like the privacy partition that they use that has like the heart shape that they can see through. And then the big chandelier that just is like right in the middle of the stage. You know, that's really cool. And yeah, it just has a lot of gorgeousness to it. You know, there's like an elegant mess to it, if you would say. That's my best way of describing it. I really hope that Remember Monday can turn out a better score for UK than Ali Alexander did. You know, I love Ali, but just wasn't there for Dizzy. I am here for What the Hell Just Happened, though. Let's see what they can do. And with that, we've talked about everything in semifinal 2. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss anything. I'm very confident about that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. I had fun with it. I hope you did too. And the next time we see each other, it'll be when I discuss the grand final and who is taking home that glass trophy. Woo! I'm getting hyped about it already. In the meantime, if you want to follow me on social media, be sure to check out my Blue Sky, my Twitch, and my TikTok. Links will be in the description. And that is where we are wrapping up. My name is Gabriel Jones, and the sun may be setting, but I hope you were able to soak up those drops. Take care.